Mr President, I rise today to speak about Palliative Care Tasmania, PCT, an organisation founded in 1989 as a member-based entity to grow awareness of this vital area of care. Regarded as a peak body for almost 4 decades, Mr President, PCT has pursued a mission to educate, lead and influence policy and practice to advocate for and support people of all ages so that they can equitably access quality palliative care across Tasmania. Mr President, PCT has a significant role in representing a diverse sector, one which embraces not only health professionals but also the carers, volunteers, families and friends who deliver compassionate care across the state. PCT responds to the increasing needs of our community, where the impact of life-limiting conditions is growing year on year and the experience of those living longer and becoming frail in stages of advanced ageing is often becoming more complex. Mr President, PCT is affiliated with the Palliative Care Australia as one of the 8 jurisdictional member organisations where it contributes strongly to the national agenda for palliative care. As part of this work, Mr President, PCT and its counterparts recognised National Palliative Care Week across the country last week, adopting an important theme, getting to the heart of it, big questions, real answers. In this theme, which speaks to a topic that is deeply human, that I draw your attention today, Mr President, at some point in our lives, in some form or another, every one of us will face serious illness, ageing, dying, grief or loss. Yet despite the universality of this shared experience, conversations about palliative care, including end of life, are too often avoided, misunderstood or left until a crisis occurs. Mr President, the theme of the National Palliative Care Week encourages all Australians to ask the following questions. What does quality of life mean? What matters most to me in life and in death? How do I want to be cared for? How might I wish to die? And how can we support one another with compassion through life's most vulnerable chapters, including the final pages? Importantly, Mr President, the theme focused on real answers, not overused or simplified cliches, but answers grounded in honesty, dignity and care. These answers need to consider the nature of the individual and the community context they are held in. Together we can play a role in shaping those answers. So, Mr President, let's start by asking, what is palliative care? Palliative care is often misunderstood as being only about the final days of life. In reality, palliative care can commence at any time, at the moment a diagnosis is received or as ageing brings inevitable challenges, including frailty. Mr President, palliative care is not just about dying either. It's about helping people live as well as possible for as long as possible. It is a person-centred care that supports physical comfort, emotional well-being, spiritual needs and connection with family and community, connection with the things that matter most. Palliative care is often provided alongside active treatment for a time. It can begin early. Importantly, Mr President, it is not only about the person who is unwell, palliative care also supports families, carers and loved ones. In Tasmania, Palliative Care Tasmania plays a vital role in building understanding and confidence, helping those who are often at their most vulnerable to navigate their way across this complex sector. Mr President, in delivering information, advocacy, education and support to Tasmanians navigating serious illness, dying, death and bereavement, PCT can connect individuals and families with services and resources that bring dignity and quality of life. PCT intentionally supports those conversations that many people find difficult to initiate. And, Mr President, the team promotes awareness that quality care is everyone's business, not only the responsibility of hospitals or healthcare professionals. Mr President, we know that most people wish to experience end of life at home. We know that our system of hospitals and aged care facilities simply cannot cope with an ageing population. We know that building compassionate communities across our state is more vital now than ever before. One of the most important things we can do as a community is to normalise conversations about death and dying. Mr President, when people feel able to talk openly about dying and end-of-life wishes, uncertainty and fear can be reduced. Families are better prepared, decisions become clearer, and people are more likely to receive care that reflects their values and preferences. Compassionate communities can be created when death is discussed openly by neighbours in workplaces and in schools. Hospitals, aged care providers, volunteers, health professionals and governments all play a role in supporting people at the end of life. Mr President, as community leaders, we have a role to play in fostering greater awareness and understanding of palliative care by encouraging open conversations, improving access to services, supporting carers and investing in compassionate communities. We can help ensure that Tasmanians can experience quality palliative care, including an approach toward the end of life which offers dignity, choice and support. So, Mr President, let's work together to create a state where everyone feels confident to talk about palliative care, including end of life. I urge all Tasmanians to ask the big questions, listen to the real answers and help create communities where compassionate care is understood, valued and available to all.
Honourable Member